Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Vertical Take. This is episode 50, and to celebrate a milestone, we have the vertical legend himself, actor, poet, and producer Eric Guilmette.
Thank you for having me on, Taha. Number 50. Congrats. That's a lot of talking.
Yeah, so Eric, for anyone who may not know you, who is Eric Guilmette?
I'm a guy. I am a guy that usually is acting more days than I am not. And on the days that I am not, I likely am writing or am doing something that just makes me happy. And I've been able to have a plethora of things that are hobbies of mine that I've been able to turn into work, if you will. And, that's, as my tagline says under me, author of Sex and Oatmeal, that's become a big part of my life, is being a poet and writing and, doing things that just makes me feel good about myself. So I would say that's probably the best way to describe me. But at the core, I'm a guy.
There you go. He's a guy who loves poetry, is an actor, and is just doing what he has to do.
Yeah, exactly. Doing what I have to do. I'm a diehard sports fan too, and considering when we're filming this, the Super Bowl is 2 days away, and I am ready because I'm from Massachusetts and I'm a diehard Patriots fan, and I'm very excited for. It was just my birthday 2 days ago, and this is my 10th Super Bowl birthday that I've gotten to watch as a Patriots fan because of the Patriots being, good for the time that I've been alive. So I'm very, very blessed.
Yeah, they made it on, so hopefully we're rooting for them to win the Super Bowl this year.
Let's
Fingers
pray.
crossed.
Let's pray.
Yeah. So, how does your morning normally look like? Do you stick to a routine or just go with the flow every day?
I mean, there's some things in my routine that I'll do. Like first thing I'll usually do within 10 minutes of getting up is I'll have like my greens and like, supplements that I take in the morning. And outside of that, because of the irregular schedule, sometimes we have a 6 a.m. call time, sometimes we have a noon call. I very much don't have a regimen of like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym now, and then I'm gonna go here. Such a crapshoot, and I don't know where I'm going to be, but I very much am malleable to being able to like go and do what I need to do, but then in the same breath, just getting to just be me the rest of the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Like, whenever you're very busy, your schedule may not look the same all the time, but I thought some people, well, what they say is legends, they normally have the same schedule and they stick to that, like they say on the podcast and stuff like that.
That's what
I
they say.
get up and I wash my face with ice cold water every day.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny.
No, it's just yeah, I'm guessing it's BS anyways. So Eric, what was the first project you worked on that made you realize that you were on the right path?
Oh, what a great question. I think it all start, and I'm going to talk vertical first, and then I'll go backwards.
Yeah, that's fine.
The first vertical I did that made me feel like I was actually doing something that was going to move the needle, I guess, was The Unwanted Mate, which I did directed by Matt Macedo. That was for Short Max.
Yeah.
That was produced by Chi, and that was starring Ashley
Gosh.
Michelle Grant and Shay Deneen and Andre Pernilla and a bunch of other great people that I got to work with on that. And we were out in Fresno, California. And, filming that, I just got to really feel like that this was actually moving somewhere. Again, it's a little whimsical. It's werewolf. It is still very vertically coded. But at the time, I had done like 2 verticals up to that point, and just I don't want to say I didn't have the best experiences because those other ones were fine, but it just didn't feel like we're actually doing something that was actually going to push things in the right direction. And so then once I did those, I was like, oh, this feels right. And then if I go backwards into more like film and TV, I was actually shooting a horror film, which the whole thing changed, and I'm not really in love with the final product because it got like they took a movie that wasn't really a horror film, was more of a thriller, and then we shot it, and then they turned it into a horror film by taking the footage that they had, taking the end of the movie, putting it at the beginning of the movie, and then filling the middle with like stuff that necessarily wasn't part of my script. So the final product wasn't that. But anyways, the experience was filming with really good people and a great team, and I had filmed that like probably 7 or 8 months prior to that, and I just felt like I was actually, I was a romantic lead. I was a detective, but I was also a romantic lead. So very much, I was like, maybe I should be playing romantic lead. Like that makes, I feel like that kind of works for my skill set. And yeah, it was just a good experience, and it made me feel like I wanted to be in front of a camera.
Amazing. So there you have it, folks. Um, it was very early on for Eric.
Yeah, I got lucky to have like my second or third vertical, be something that felt like I was doing the right thing.
Yeah, and the end product was absolutely amazing. So we had Matt Masita on for episode 1, and we focused heavily on the unwanted mate, and yeah, it was. I think it's one of his favorites that he's
Yeah.
done.
It,
Yeah,
it connected me and Matt for sure, and me and Ashley and Jay as well. Like, I mean, Ashley's become such a close friend of mine, and Matt and I have worked on like 4 other projects together, and so it's like it's just kind of funny like what a lot of the early verticals did for relationship building, because
yeah.
all the people that were in at the beginning have like become so close. And not to say that I'm not close to people that came on later into the industry, because I am, and I've gotten to meet some really cool people along the way. But a lot of the people that I feel like you worked early with, like you just developed such a connection, and so that was like what happened with me and Ashley there, for example.
Yeah, and you and Matt, because Matt took a stance for you when you were,
Exactly. And
yeah.
like we didn't know what we were doing, like it was very much like and that was a long shoot. I think that was like a 10 or 12 day shoot, but like we were up there on location for like 15 or 16 days. It was a long trek, but it was great. And and Matt's such an awesome like director, and he's just such a pleasure to be around on a set. Like he keeps the energy light, and you kind of need to do that to be successful in this space for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And as a director, you definitely have to keep those tropes and keep the air light so that everyone's comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. And it was also just Matt's birthday too. I remember when we wrapped, because we
Hmm.
wrapped around 2 years ago. It was his birthday and my birthday back to back. So, anyways, happy birthday, Matt.
Happy birthday, Matt. Um, okay, so do you remember the first time you were recognized in public? What was that like?
What I mean, yes. So, like, because of romance novel covers, I got a lot of early access to that, like long before verticals, and so
Yeah.
I'd gotten, I don't want to say used to, because it's not like I'm Brad Pitt, but I did get used to someone being like, "Oh, you're on the book I'm reading." Like, I think one of my early interactions was I was at it wasn't Starbucks, it was Coffee Bean. Yeah, I was
Coffee
at
Bean.
a Coffee Bean, and this must have been like 2021 maybe.
Mm.
And the girl who was the barista taking my order, she was like, "You're on the book I'm reading," and I was like, and that was like very early into my romance novel stuff, and I was like, "No way!" And she literally had it in her bag and showed me, and
Oh, wow.
I was like, "This is crazy," like I never, I was like, but like so many people read, and that industry is so prominent. And then
No,
obviously
it's huge.
a billion, I've met you at a book signing, right? So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was able to, thanks to Chris Correa, for example, like was so monumental for me to take a chance on me and photograph me, and then Lexi C. Foss like put me on a bunch of her covers and started having me come to conventions. So like those are two people that I'm so thankful for, because they really opened my eyes to an industry that I didn't know existed, that I didn't know like what it meant to so many people. And then it was a perfect parallel to then get into verticals, because I had
Yeah.
been modeling romance on the covers and then started acting in romance. And so, yeah, that was like my first interaction. I do remember very vividly, probably because of recency bias as well. But when I had released my book, Sex and Oatmeal, in August, I had released it like maybe like 3 or 4 days before I went to Boston.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a week. I'm not sure, but it wasn't a
It
long
was
time.
literally 3 days before.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so I remember I was in the lobby though, and checking into the host hotel, and
Mhm.
a reader came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, you're Eric the poet,"
Ooh,
and I had never had someone say to me that you're the poet. I just, you're the model
book
or the actor
cover.
or
Yeah.
whatever, right? And I was like, holy shit, this is real. Yes, I am the poet, Eric, and it was a very. I don't think the person even knew how much of a meaningful interaction that was for me, but it really just made me feel like, oh my god, this is real. Because I still, again, I have a degree in math. I didn't come from a traditional writing background.
Right.
I still think the fact that so many people have bought my book, read my book, and care about my poetry is wild because don't. I still don't know if it's good. I think it is. I like it because it's good, but I don't know from a wide audience view. So, anyways, that interaction meant a lot for me because it just didn't make me feel like I was. It made me feel like I was actually the thing that I say I am. You know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And no, I remember it's funny how you mentioned it dropped 3 days before. I actually shipped the copies of your book because I was gonna get some for some other people. And I shipped it to Karen, who
Mm,
actually lives in Boston.
yeah.
Well, not in Boston, in Massachusetts. And if she hadn't brung me those books, I wouldn't have been able to have them, signed by you. So
So funny.
shout out to her for that. But
Thank you, Karen.
I swear you should have dropped it at least a few days before that for convenience. Like it just went boom, and I was like, okay,
Well, it's crazy because I didn't know. Like,
oh,
what's
okay,
one of the interesting parts of that was, I worked with an imprint of Simon and Schuster, and the publisher released it like 4 days before telling me, and then I was like, I had no notice. It was almost like a vertical. You know how verticals just get released and half the time we
yeah,
don't know where it is or when it's out? It was one of those circumstances where then I found out because of someone tagging me online that they had like just bought my book or found my book. I was like, my book is out and I don't have a copy. I was like,
oh shit,
what the fuck is this? And
no,
so
seriously,
then I was like sprinting trying to get myself a copy and make sure to be able to make a proper announcement and stuff. And
hmm
it
hmm
was very stressful, and but anyways, it all worked out, and no release ever goes the way you think it will. I'll say that was one thing I learned, and but yeah, what an experience since then. August feels like eons ago,
it
and
does,
it was what, 5 or 6 months ago.
literally.
Crazy, wild.
No, it is crazy. Just learn from the lessons from the first release so that for your future releases, it's more
Yes.
coordinated.
Oh my God, the amount I've learned in 6 months of being an author is monumentally valuable for the next 6 months to come.
Perfect. So you've done everything from rom-coms to mystery to drama to fantasy. What's the next genre you would like to do? Or is there one that you'd like to do again?
Suspense, thriller, crime, drama. That's where I want to live. Is that realm? Like those are so fun to film because you're
Mm-hmm.
putting the narrative together that every detail matters, especially in a crime drama. You can't have like a detail that's a red herring, for example. Like you can't like not make sure you get that and make sure you don't get that as an actor too, because you need to pick up on those things.
Yeah.
Whereas like, just a rom-com or, some of these, more slapsticky verticals that are just tropey, like you could not pay attention for 5 minutes in the show and you still would know exactly what's going on. And so it's like, I want
Yeah.
to continue working in things that makes the reader or not the reader, the viewer have to lean in and pay attention. Like if I think that's one thing that we're all vying for these days is attention because we all have the attention span of a frog.
Yeah.
So it's like I think um, if you can captivate an audience and make them have to pay attention or want to, whatever,
Mm.
you're doing your job really well. And that starts with the script. It always starts with the script, and then it boils down to how it's produced, how it's shot, how it's acted, how it's directed, all that stuff.
No, absolutely. So what is something that you think people misunderstand about your work as a vertical actor?
As a vertical actor. So I'm going to speak for the whole industry, not just myself, but I'll say vertical actors, a lot of times like we'll get judged on acting in these things.
Mm.
And 9 times out of 10, I shouldn't say 9 times out of 10, I'll say 6.5 times out of 10, you're getting 1 to 2 takes. You are also potentially being given like a Bible of work, meaning like they will have the original IP that was already shot and was successful in an Asian market.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, can you do it exactly like this? I'm like, well, shouldn't I be doing it in a way that I'm interpreting for my character to be
Hmm.
helpful? So one of the things that I would say is misunderstood is like judging acting off of these things. It's like they want it to be big, they want the stakes to be high, they want it to be over dramatic, melodramatic. That's not necessarily always the choice of the actor. It's usually actually more so the choice of what the team is that's creating the thing and how they want it to come out. And so I would say a lot of us would rather have more grounded performances, but those grounded performances kind of get taken away in that process, which I'm hoping is a thing that becomes a little obsolete as we continue to, I think we're in this like generation 2 of verticals now. I
Yeah.
think as we're in this world now, I hope that we can kind of make that go away because I want performances to actually resonate and someone to be able to take a breath in the middle of a scene because a breath is so impactful. Moments of silence are impactful, but it's very hard to actually find those in generation 1 verticals, for example.
Yeah, definitely. And just to piggyback off of that, the silence. Well, if we go back to not her secret motive, oops, this secret,
Yeah.
yes, there was so many silent scenes in that, or
It
moments in that.
was, and it was so good, and it was
Hmm.
like it had you on the edge of your seat as much as a vertical can, I think.
Definitely.
And what's crazy is that was shot a year and a half ago, and it was released in January of last year, so it's been out for over a year. And that was
Yeah.
one of my favorite roles that I played because, again, it does have moments of silence. It does make you lean in. And I was actually, I've been on meetings this whole afternoon and morning, and I was on a meeting today, and someone was like, I feel like that was like a film noir of verticals. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's a compliment because I think all the people that were a part of creating that felt like we were creating something that was stood out from the rest. And so I'm glad that
Definitely.
you shared that sentiment as well.
Yeah, I don't consider it a vertical. It's a short film,
Well, thank you.
but
That makes
filmed
me happy.
vertical though. No, seriously. And I think I told you that back in January too. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Um, So, if someone was discovering your work for the first time, what vertical project would you tell them to start off with?
If they're discovering me as a producer, I
Okay.
would, or just like as a creative, maybe I'll say not just a producer. I
Mm-hmm.
would tell them to go look at Love and Blood or Campus Rivals
Okay.
because of those being, obviously Adam wrote Campus Rivals and him and I produced it alongside Brielle, and then Dimitri and Tali wrote Love and Blood and we produced it alongside Noemi Van Slyke. And those were projects that we put so much energy into and so much like effort to create where you can see, I mean, they're both just nominated for the Vertical Drama Love Awards
Mm.
Best Ensemble. And both of
Oh,
those, I
wow.
mean, I can look across my room right now and I have trophies for both of those films because of what they meant to the fans that watch them, the viewers who watch them. And I would say as a creative, those are great places. I mean, I don't necessarily love my performance as an actor in either of those, but I'm very critical of myself, so maybe that's why. But I'm saying as a creative, we got to create. It was so beautiful to create something where it felt like we were working with our friends, but it felt like we were taking like what currently exists and just elevating it within the space of what can we do with the industry as it is and how can we elevate it in a way that isn't like breaking the laws of what we're doing. And
Yeah.
so as from that perspective, I would say that is where I would look. And then acting wise, I mean, maybe The Secret or the one I did in Italy with Nicole and Felix was such a great one. Dungeons of Ecstasy.
Dungeons, yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think. There's so many that I've shot recently that have not come out yet. Like I just shot one in January, early January. That was
Hmm.
very NDA.
Was was that the one with Tess?
I shot something else with Tess.
Okay.
I shot with Tess all January, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's another one that I shot,
Okay.
and there will be a press release going out for it in hopefully a couple weeks. But
Perfect.
it's something that is a character that is kind of similar to Caleb in Tales of Christmas, where
Oh, okay.
I'm a little bit of
Interesting.
a
Self-doubting. Are you good
yeah,
enough for
like he needs
yourself?
to find his wings, he needs to,
Mhm.
and like that's a really fun character for me to play, to kind of lean into being insecure, or like, or being silently confident, right?
Mhm.
I think like a lot that's probably the better way to describe it, because I think a lot of vertical characters, as they're written, they're just like cold and confident and
Yeah,
dominating
egotistic.
them. And I'm like, that's
Mhm.
great and all, but like it's so one dimensional, and there's only so much dimension you can add to that type of character. Whereas like a character like that, you have to find the subtleties of places to bring that out. So I really enjoyed that one, and yeah, I'll be able to give more details on that when it actually drops.
So stay tuned, peeps.
Yes,
Um, with your writing, both poetry and screenplays, what inspires you creatively?
that's a great question. I think it depends on the day of the week you ask me.
So it's Friday.
So, yeah, right. Is it Friday? Like, I have
It
no
is.
idea what day it is. It was day 10 yesterday of production, so that means that I would say my own personal life definitely still like inspires me. A lot of
Okay.
people, I get asked so often, like, what made you a writer? I was actually just sent a voicemail like before my last meeting to someone, like asking me how I got into writing.
Mm.
And I was like, well, I fell in love with a girl, and that's what made me write, And I think I am able to pull from my personal experience a lot to be able to write.
Mhm.
But outside of that, in the sense of like as a creative producer, I think of just things that um, connect certain people that I want to work with. Like, for example, I produced, or I should say, I developed this show with Mariah Moss that
Mm.
her and I had started talking about like a long freaking time ago. And then like we built it and built it and built it. And she's a phenomenal writer and wrote this really beautiful script that we're hoping to produce this year. We've sold it to be produced. It's just that
Oh
things
wow.
take forever. And so, anyways, but it was a show that like it filled both of our skill set. We had talked about it, and I'm great at doing like that part of it, the ideas and the potential world building and notes passes and adding nuances and stuff like that. I'm not great at writing. And
Okay.
so that was her taking that undertaking, but it was a really great process because we just leaned into knowing each other's skill sets and what each other wanted to play. And it's like, okay, that was where we started. How do we then turn that into what we create? So then we built out this whole story in this world that is really fun. And it very much, I was like, it's a way for us to work together, that we both get to shine. That's what I want. I mean, even when we did Love and Blood, like when we cast, yeah, everyone, obviously Noemi and I were producers on it, but when we cast Kira and Mariah and Mark, like we wanted to lean into the creativity and the creative involvement. Like all of us were part of kind of letting that story grow and evolve. And
Yeah.
that's the fun part, is like knowing what people can do and also knowing what they can't do, and then seeing them take it up a notch from what you originally thought.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always interesting to see how an actor evolves. Like
Yeah.
definitely with you, we've seen from the Omega's Unwanted Omega all the way to what was your recent release? I'm not sure. Is it the gynecologist one you did with Kayla Brady?
Uh,
Probably.
yes, we're gonna call that project the Healing Touch, because yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. I don't feel like
I forgot the name, so
yeah, it's
the
okay.
one with the gynecology one is what I'm
Yeah,
gonna call
there we go. Perfect.
it.
But yeah, that one, I'm not sure if that was my most recent release.
I don't know.
Honestly, to be
I've
honest,
lost track too.
I feel like this is where like I'm so thankful for like the fandom and fan pages and review pages, because I feel like
Yeah,
they better track that stuff than I do, or
they
than
do.
most actors do, because we're constantly going, and
Mm.
so it's like to be able to take stock of what's coming out and when, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like if it wasn't for Sandy and Guilmette's Girl and Sabrina and tons of, other people who are constantly updating your work on their fan pages, then I myself wouldn't even know. Especially
Yeah.
when I'm coming up with these questions. I was like, okay, let me look into this. Okay, he's done this. Okay, okay.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
it worked
No,
out.
I'm so thankful for all that they do, because for real, they keep my head on straight. And like, there's just so many it's just such a crazy like thing to kind of wrap your head around. Obviously verticals are now competing with whatever you want to call it, linear, horizontal acting
Yeah.
and projects and stuff like that. And I just got off a meeting, and so it's like it's really fun to see how niche of a community this is that like
Hmm.
is so connected and cares
Yeah.
versus you know Hollywood in general is not, because
Nope.
it's so big and it's so vast, and like there's always like there's pockets of communities that
Mm.
exist, and obviously everyone cares about the big award shows and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but it's really cool just to see how this community is so connected and we all kind of know each other, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you couldn't recreate it if you tried.
No, you couldn't. Like, it's funny how you bring up mainstream Hollywood. Heated rivalry, something so
Yes.
tiny, blowing up right now, and like you're gonna see a vertical about it come out very soon.
Yeah,
So
the thing is, I mean, that's how a lot of these have been derived. Is like
yeah,
what's been popular here. Okay, great, let's go recreate it. And I
yeah,
hope that however they recreate it, I hope it's done well.
yeah. Tastefully, please, not
Tastefully,
crazy.
yeah, the clickbaity stuff, the crazy, how can we crack this out type of thing. It's I don't want to say it's run its course, but it's like I
Or
think that there's a level of respect that certain things deserve, and that's definitely a show that has been so incredible and so empowering and so
yeah,
moving. It's like please do it justice and do it right. Don't cheat it.
right. No, absolutely. So you've got so much going on right now between all your projects and evaders. What do you do to rest and reset when you're feeling overwhelmed or burnout?
Um, that's a great question. I would say, I mean, I very much my head hits the pillow and I usually pass out because of being tired. But I'm tired for good reasons. I'm
Yeah,
not tired for like, I mean, I do let loose, and like we had rap drinks last night, for example, and it's like I like to try and lean into that aspect of my life too. But I would say in terms of like mental resets and taking a breath, I've become very good at doing small things to reset me for like to continue. And that can be as simple as if I get time to go to the gym in the morning and like stretch for 10 minutes before I even start my workout, that stretch is the time that I'll be able to connect with myself or lean into like recharging. Or even if I just have 20 minutes to write at night, to be able to just go inward and write, that does a lot for me because it's just reflection and stuff. And
yeah,
little things like that. I mean, to be honest, I again, I speak for myself within the vertical landscape. A lot of us are quote unquote overworked. Like
yeah.
we are tired. I spent like over 250 days on set last year. Like that's too much. That's a crazy amount of time to be on a film set. And
Of course.
I'm blessed. I am so thankful. I am
Yeah.
speaking from a very privileged position. But with that said, it's like we need to be masters of being able to recharge quickly. And so it's kind of almost like, like a Tesla, if you have that supercharger in your house, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
recharge fast. We have to all have our own supercharger. Whereas like if you were just doing that trickle charge, and which takes days sometimes, I've heard, like I'm like, that
Not gonna
wouldn't work.
work.
Like it would not
No.
work. So but outside of that, I mean, I'm very lucky to have the group of people that I have around me, having best friends and reps and family that supports me, and just people who just are there for you, because we're all doing the best we can. It is not an easy task. We are constantly faced with very hard decisions. I think that's one thing that the vertical community that's not the on the actor side might not see, but we are getting sent scripts over and over, like trying to decide, do I do this project? It's morally a little gray for me. I don't know if I want to do something that's this jarring, like, and we're having to make these really adult difficult decisions over and over, and that's subconsciously taxing on your body. Like that will weigh on you, especially if you have a bad day on set. You can even just have an emotional scene on set. You're not supposed to go from doing a scene where you're, for example, Devil's Triangle, which
Yes.
also got changed to some stupid title. When I did Devil's Triangle, I had a scene which is, spoiler and warning, trigger warning. Like I had a scene where I had to tell Mark and Jesse's character that I was going to kill myself,
Yeah.
and like, which is a very sensitive topic. And
Mm-hmm.
when we filmed that, I was like, guys, I'm doing one take. I was like, we're gonna roll it, like keep it going, let it roll for 5 minutes, and when I'm ready, I'm gonna take my headphones out and we're gonna do it because I'm
Yeah.
not doing this multiple times because I had to actually feel it. And so anyways, we did, and then afterwards, like 20 minutes after, we went right into doing a happy-go-lucky scene, and it was hard because I remember driving home that night being like, geez, that was like a lot on my body. And like, how do you recharge from that? How do you reset? It's like finding little ways to kind of cheat the system to get back to yourself. But yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, your performance was marvelous. Pat
thank
on
you.
the back for that. And yeah, let's just continue to balance it out so that we're not going insane.
Yeah, right. Keep your sanity hat on for sure.
Amen. So, was there a project that you worked on that you wish had turned out differently and why? I know there are many.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I'm very not like, what's the word? I have some,
Impressed?
I have some producers and friends
Okay.
of mine that I work with that are like, be a little more diplomatic sometimes because I very much will just speak like from here, which I think,
Yeah.
I don't like to dance around things sometimes. I like to just be
Can't
brutally
just
honest.
beat around the bush. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like there's some projects that have been ruined in a way because of the marketing aspect. We shouldn't take a story that, and I don't need to say any specifics, but we shouldn't take
Right.
stories that are actually good and like things that we enjoyed filming and ruin them by changing them to some disgusting title or having like disgusting subtitles that are part of the marketing thing just to get clicks. It's like it's cheap. You cheapen the project by doing that. So like have integrity and have respect for everyone that was involved with creating something that was good because
Mhm.
we put all of our that's the thing is like I don't think people realize how much energy and how much effort is put in by the actors and everyone on a set. I'm just talking actor side, but the director, the AD, the DP, the makeup artist, the wardrobe department, the
Mhm.
scripty, the electrical team, like everyone that is on a set is doing their freaking best and putting their heart on the line. And it sucks when an app decides to just change the title of something and market a show that makes it feel cheap. It's like maintain the integrity because all you're doing is you're making the product look like it's laughable, and it's very disrespectful, I think, to the filmmakers.
Well, you do know what inspired them for these like ridiculous titles.
Well, just clicks, marketing.
Mm,
Well, it's interesting
they
because
had.
it's
Mhm.
it does track. I mean,
Yeah.
I come from the romance novel space, of course, right? So I know those genres very well and those subgenres, and a lot of that
Hmm.
is very parallel with what's going
Yeah.
on in the vertical world. But like you
Mm.
said, like they are driving a lot of these stories. And again, I read some insane scripts. I'm not special for that. Every actor gets these insane scripts sent to them, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, we are one like insertion point away from it being X rated, and
Literally.
it's like, what are we filming? So yeah, it's kind of crazy to think of just the ways that we're just marketing content because I think that there is a level of respect that every person who's been in this space has put their ass on the line that they all deserve, you know?
No, absolutely. But hey, it is what it is. They're going off of this data and they're just going to continue to do it. So,
Yeah, it's
unfortunately, nothing much we can do about it. But hey, it is what it is. And we can just try to keep our heads up high and keep our dignities intact.
yeah. It's
Um,
like trying to not take those roles. I think again, it's easier said than done because you know
it
that
is very easier
some
said than
actor is going to take that role. Like it's going to be done.
done. Hmm.
I've and it's I just hope that integrity becomes more of a driving force for 2026 with every company that's
Mm,
involved, and not just the bottom line. Which,
yeah,
but again, we live in a world that's run by money, and so like you want to make money,
of
and I
course.
get it, and it's just don't do it at the expense of the professional representation of a reputation of the actors, because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, that's one of the things where where I think that there should be some level of care given, because whose face and whose names are attached to these things? It's the actors. It's our faces that are on top of these. So, there's a way to just do it right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what's a hill that you'll die on no matter how unpopular it is?
Don't overpromise and underdeliver. I
Okay.
coming from the space, and I'm not talking about verticals. I'm talking about the industry of
Hmm.
verticals, of film and TV. A lot of, and this goes for everyone, but a lot of people have become very like, yes, I will do this. Yes, you can have it then. By then, yes, and I'm like, don't give a timestamp and an amount of things that you're doing and all of that if you don't actually have the ability to deliver on it. And I'm very thankful to have the parents that I do, because they instilled the principle in me to under promise and over deliver when I was at a very young age. And I think that if that's a hill that I will die on, because if you're someone who constantly over promises and under delivers, no one's going to trust you, and no one's going to no one's going to believe you. And
Yeah.
I very much like to be a man of my word. And
Yeah.
if I say I'm going to do something and when I'm going to do it, try and get it done by then. Again, there's a level of grace involved, but I think for the most part, be a person of your word and under promise and over deliver.
Words from the man himself. So how much grace do you give yourself? I know you don't give much. If something doesn't plan out the way you expected or wanted it to be.
um, I guess it's definitely a scenario to scenario thing.
Right.
For the most part, I'm definitely very hard on myself. I I wear my heart on the sleeves that I'm not wearing. But I would say that I do give myself grace sometimes, where I'm like, look,
Okay.
this is crazy. What you're doing on a daily basis is exhausting. You don't have to get to this right now. You can take a moment to sleep on it and come back with an educated, more well-rounded response in the morning.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I also am very much aware of like things that we can't control. We can't
Yeah.
control what other people do, and we can't control how people perceive things. So
Hmm.
just do the best, I can, is all I can ask for. If you've mentioned putting your head on the pillow at night, if I put my head on the pillow at night and I'm proud of what I'm doing every day, then that's good enough for me.
Yeah. You're human. Gotta
Yeah,
do what you gotta do. I agree.
exactly. Yeah.
So let's talk about what you're working on right now. So you're finishing up your second poetry book.
hmm
When is that expected to come out? Do we have any information on that?
I would say you can expect it for around summer. I probably would say around August would probably be a conservative.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
about a 1 year difference, and that
yeah,
feels safe. That feels like I can probably get it accomplished by then. Yeah,
definitely.
I almost have the manuscript done, so that's 97% of it. Because then once you get to that, you can start designing and everything. But I would say, yeah, like expect for late summer. But if it comes out early summer, then great. We jumped forward, but under promise and over deliver, right? I'm trying to say August, and if we get it done in July, then hallelujah.
It
Uh,
works. It works.
yeah,
Mm,
that's
thank
what
you.
I'm heavily working on right now.
Sounds great. Your jewelry line sells out almost as soon as it drops. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
Did
you.
you ever expect that level of success?
No,
No.
it's crazy. Every time I've done a drop, and again, it gets bigger every time. I release
Yep.
more pieces. I release a bigger quantity of pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and this last one, to Jeff and another one of my best friends were sitting with me watching like orders come in, because you can watch it in real time,
Ah,
and
okay.
it is wild to watch, because I never expect it. You asked me about things I expect. I don't expect to sell out, and I don't expect it to just go, and then it does, and it's one of those things where I'm so thankful that I got connected to Sam, my jeweler, based in
Yeah.
Australia. She's phenomenal, and um, because that was just an idea that kind of popped out of nowhere. She was like, "I made some jewelry that has your poems on them. I'd love to send them to you." And then like she sent them to me, and then I was like, "Can we sell these?" Because I feel like, because it was before my book came out.
Ding.
And I was like,
Yeah.
how do I get something tangible in the hands of people that are wanting my book? and then
Hmm.
and then it's grown and grown and grown. And we've done shoots for it, and we've branded it, and we've
Yeah,
created something that's beautiful. And like I was like, what a beautiful thing to have a poem last more than just the 30 seconds that you read it on a page to be able to wear it. So,
exactly.
so that's one thing that I've done in regards to that. Jeff, say hi.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
Random
Just,
cameo.
just doing an interview right now.
Hey guys.
Thank-
Sorry, I was like, hi.
No, no worries, no worries. No, definitely. I kind of had a feeling it was gonna explode when I saw the piece you gave to Eero in London, because I
Yeah.
was looking at it. I'm like, you know what? This is gonna be something.
Yeah, and like it's just wild. And so now, like, I mean, I'm planning on my fifth drop right now with Sam. We have new pieces that are coming. I mean, I'm wearing
Ooh, interesting.
bracelets and rings, and it's like never. I don't know anything about jewelry, but I've gotten to, again. It's very much just like it's almost like the vertical industry. It's like the wild wild west, where it's like let's
It
see
is.
what works and let's see what doesn't, and reassess every time we do it. So yeah, I feel lucky to be in that place and to be to have my own jewelry line. That's crazy.
Perfect. And the last part of that segment is: are you writing, producing, directing, or stirring in any new verticals or anything coming out soon? Just anything in general.
Yeah, so I mean, I have three scripts that I've sold to be produced this year,
Ooh,
and let's hope that we can pull them off because
yes.
every production is a miracle. That's one thing that every viewer should know, like that watches verticals. If it gets produced and it gets released, holy shit, 900 miracles had to happen to have that happen. Especially if it's independently, which is usually the route that I'm taking. I'm not necessarily partnering with a lot of apps
Oh,
directly.
okay. What
I
about production houses?
yeah, because the production side of it, it's like I like working with certain production companies, but
Ah,
that
got it.
doesn't necessarily mean that we want to have. I mean, I with certain apps, I love to have app involvement. Like Vigua was so helpful and so trusting of us to create Campus Rivals, like that. We
And they're
very
Korean. They're different.
yeah, we very much had a collaborative experience, and it was beautiful. And it's like
Yeah.
I only want stuff that I'm working on to be in that regard. So, anyways, I have that. I believe the title has been released for this one, but Murder in Paradise, if it hasn't, that's the one
That's
from.
the one you did in Hawaii.
Yeah, so that one
Interesting.
should be coming soon-ish. I don't know when, but soon-ish is what I'll go with.
Is that real shorts?
We don't know where it's going. like I,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, there's a lot of them that like, I just did another one that I don't know where it's going. It's
Makes
like
sense.
it's kind of wild. I mean, I just did one for Good Short that will be coming out. That's called Your Twin Cupids Reporting for Duty. So it was very cute.
Hopefully it stays that name.
Yeah, no, it will either that or it'll go back to like the original title, which was also very cute. So
Okay.
I have those things coming on that end. I have things that I'm producing outside of it. I did actually talk to you. You brought up directing. I did talk to a producer about potentially directing one of these soon. So we'll see. That would be a whole new avenue for me
That
to.
would be a big avenue. And you know what? You have your director friends who are, I'm pretty sure, more than willing to give you a word of advice. Matt Macedo, Danny Farber, I'm
So
pretty
many
sure.
people, Dimitri. I mean, like
Dimitri.
Nick Fabiano. So many
Mm,
people that I've worked with so much that I trust with my life, for lack of a better term. And Eric Schwager. Like there's just so many great people that are making cool things in this space. So, Michael Reich. Like there's a lot of cool things in that regard that are going to be coming. And I have projects that I also can't even talk about that are being worked on. That like one is
totally fine.
when it comes out, it's not a vertical per se.
Okay.
It's something else. I'm like I
That's
can't even,
fine.
but it is huge. And when it comes out, it will really improve this space for the better. And I'm excited for that. So I'm working on that. Obviously, poetry, doing all that stuff. Writing, I don't think I want to tackle writing yet. I mean, I've been a co-writer on certain productions because
Okay.
of doing like treatments for the scripts or coming up with the idea and being a creator of the world. But I'm not a writer, but I'm working with like 8 different writers now on different
Oh, wow.
projects, which are, again, thank God that there's talented writers that are amazing at it because they write it way better than I ever could.
No,
Uh,
it's fine. Stick to poetry.
yeah, right. I can write 1,000 ways to say I love you. But I don't know if I can write a 100-page script that has a 3 act structure and has a cliffhanger every um, minute,
Seconds.
minute and 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that stuff's going on, and then obviously in April I'm doing the Ink Collective, which is the first event in a global event series that we plan on continuing, that is celebrating the world of poetry and bringing together a community of people that love and care about contemporary art. And that's another thing that, again, kind of came out of nowhere, but here we are,
Yeah.
and we've made a really incredible 2-day event that we're kicking off in London. And the amount of hours that we've put into it is we're not done yet, where we have a long way to go, but we've put so many hours into creating something in a brand, a community. Like we want it to be something that lives on beyond just being an event. We want it to be a place for people to feel safe to talk about things that they're dealing with, to write, to celebrate art in whatever art form they love. So yeah, that's another thing that I've put a lot of my heart and soul into, and I'm very, very blessed to be in the place I am with that.
And we will have a segment for that coming up very soon.
A
Is there a real life historian figure that you've wanted to play in a film? Who is it, and what in like draws you to it?
hmm.
Like them and their story.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm not a big history buff. Maybe it'd have to be like sports history or something, you know?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, something in that world, that like a story that hasn't been told. I didn't think of I've never really thought of this, but something sports, either like a hockey star, that might have had, I don't know. There's some story that needs to be told though. You've inspired me to now to think critically about a story, a true story that needs to be told. And
Yeah, because obviously heated rivalry is fake.
yeah, that's
None of that is real.
not a real story, right? I mean,
Right.
obviously there's levels of realism in it, but yeah, I think I'd love to think of a story that really needs to be told. But yeah, we'll see. Rain check.
Rain check. That is totally fine. So, what do you do to treat yourself when you've been successful at something? So we've heard about you beating yourself over. That's fine. But what about when it goes well?
I got to be better at taking. I do celebrate the successes. I mean, for me, it's quality time spent with people.
Okay.
If I get to spend time with friends or spend time with people that I care about, like that is the celebration for me.
Yeah.
Again, I've traveled so much in my life, and I continue to travel. And I used to spend a lot of time traveling, and now I think I do have some cool trips coming up that I've planned that aren't just necessarily work related, which I'm excited for. But outside of that, I mean, if I just get to spend time with people I love and care about, that is the celebration for me. I'm not a big spender. I'm not going to buy a big watch or a big car
Yeah,
or something
I
like that.
get it.
Obviously, I don't really care, for lack of a better term, because I
He's
don't.
not materialistic, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I like sentimental things, and little things that I like, a t-shirt that I like those are things that I remember.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I just spend my money on experiences and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, definitely. Like recently, I just got back from Tunisia and I did go to Tete. It was
That's me.
amazing.
You checked
Yeah,
it out.
it was amazing. Did I send you the pictures? I forgot. I'll send you pictures after this.
Yeah, send me pictures so I can be jealous.
No, literally, it's amazing. It's like a totally different world there.
That's
Like
why they shot. That's why they
it's
shot up Star
surreal.
Wars,
Yeah,
because
that's why they
it
shot
feels
Star
like a
Wars here.
different world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so what's the most useful gift you've gotten from a fan?
Ooh,
And I'm
useful.
exempt.
Like
I'm ex-
AirPods. Let's see. Most useful gift.
phone charger and AirPods.
Yeah. Let me think. Okay, so my answer. It's useful in a different way, I think, than people would perceive it to be. But I have a book that I was given that is like it's from one of my groups of fans of supporters that's called Eric's Girls, and
Okay.
they created a really beautiful version of my book that has like writings in it and reworkings and stuff like that. That's really, really cool. And it's on my bookshelf. I can see it right now. And it's also next to Eero's book,
I was
Unfinished.
just about to mention, yeah.
Both of those, like, because they're useful in a way that like lives on. Like it's not
Yeah.
just a use thing. It's like it's something that I can go to and I can like feel connection in, and I can read and I can think. Like Eero's book that she gave me was my first published book, which is hilarious. I think it's very, very, very cute that my first published book wasn't mine. It was, but it wasn't. And so, anyways, I read it from time to time just to see like just to see the perspective. It's like when I see like a follower of mine do like their own reading of a poem of mine, and I
Mhm.
get to hear their voice read it. It's super interesting for me because I'm like, I would have never thought of that poem that I wrote in that way. And so it's really useful for me to have the perspective of someone else to be able to see the words that I wrote. And so that, and then like, she continues the poems in her words. So it's
Yeah.
so useful because I just get to see perspectives, especially from perspectives of really talented people. So those are two gifts that I really valued were those things.
Yeah, because I remember in London, right before she gave it to you, she showed me. I'm like, okay, either he's gonna love this or he's gonna think you're crazy. So, I'm glad he
Well,
loved it.
luckily we went with love, and
Go with love.
it
And she's
felt
like,
very much
she
love.
was hesitant. She's like, do I show it to him? Because I think I might have like overstimulated her. I'm like, no, no, no. Make sure you give it. I'll catch it on camera. It's
Yeah,
all good. He's gonna love it. And look at it now. You guys are collabing with the ink and everything, and just
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Lifelong friendship right there.
It's crazy like what connections do, and like yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I think one of the things that we look for as humans is the ability to be seen and
Yeah.
actually like understood, and like that was a gift that I received that I felt very like intimately seen, like in
Yeah.
a way of like actually seen for who I am, and
Hmm.
how I put words that were experience of mine on a page to versus just being seen for when you're playing a character on a screen. That's one thing about acting is like you're playing a character, so
Yeah.
like you're leaning into someone else's world to tell their truth, whereas like poetry is I'm leaning into my world to tell my truth. And so like
Exactly.
that was a very connected experience for me.
Yeah. So the next segment we're gonna do is the two truths and a lie.
Okay. Okay. Two
Go for it.
truths and a lie. I sleep on my back. I prefer chunky peanut butter, and I like my coffee with oat milk.
Okay, I know you like peanut butter. You told me it's a good source of protein that you have in your dietary. Um, Chunky, okay, debatable. I know you like oatmeal, obviously, but oatmeal has a lot of texture to it. So maybe you do like chunky peanut butter. Um, Oat milk in your coffee? I had one of your co-stars tell me you don't have any milk in your coffee, so I don't know. Sleeping on your back, that is the most weirdest thing I've ever heard. Like,
I tried to think of good ones. I think I came up with good ones because they all make you think.
I actually don't freaking know. I feel like all of them could. Okay, I think that you do like chunky peanut butter. Um, Oat milk in your coffee. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's the lie. Oat milk in your coffee. I think that's the lie.
Is that the final answer?
That is my final answer.
Do I get to tell you now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I do not sleep on my back.
Bruh. I should have known that was the lie at the very beginning. Like, but
Yeah.
then it was so tedious. I'm like, how am I meant to know that? Like, bruh.
Yeah, those are good ones. I think those will stump a lot of people. I think you might get a complete mixed response as
We'll
well.
see what people say.
Yeah, we'll see. That's funny.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh well. Well, congratulations to the rest of you who got that clip correct.
Yes, if you
Got
got
that
that
part
right,
correct.
congrats.
Yeah. He does not sleep on his back. Weird. Okay, rapid fire. Whenever you're ready.
Cool.
Okay. Beach vacation or mountain vacation?
Beach.
Audition process or have a role written for you?
Role written for me.
Pull-ups or dreadlifts?
Pull-ups.
What's more romantic? A dozen roses or a hand-picked bouquet of wildflowers?
Hand-picked bouquet of wildflowers.
Where is your most ticklish spot?
Feet.
Road trip or fly trip? Or like
Ooh,
flying out, I guess.
fly trip.
Yeah. Get those miles in. Write the script or direct the film?
Ooh, I've done neither. Let's see. I guess write the script because I'll say like idea of writing. Like I've technically written one script, but it's not. Yeah. Anyways, right.
That's fine. Movie marathon or binge watch a TV series if you have the time?
Ooh, I would say binge a TV series if I have the time. Hard part is time.
What physical attribute is the first thing you notice about a potential romantic interest?
Ooh, eyes for sure. Eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do crosswords in pen or pencil?
Pen.
Hotel or Airbnb?
Airbnb.
Rollerblades or roller skates?
Rollerblades for sure.
Soup or sandwich?
Soup.
Do you prefer playful fun or intense passion?
Intense passion.
Pac-Man or Donkey Kong?
Pac-Man.
Travel back in time or forward in time?
Forward.
Pie or cake? Any
Cake.
flavor. Cake. Okay. Forgive and forget or hold a grudge?
Forgive and forget for sure.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Cook for a date or have a date cook for you?
Ooh. Ooh. Oh my God, you stumped me on one.
Sorry.
If they are open palated, cook. If they are very picky, let them cook for me because I'll eat anything.
That's fine. Childhood nickname?
E. I mean, I got E a lot. Just simple.
Simple. Speak every language fluently or have the ability to understand animals?
Oh wow, this is a good one. I would
Mm-hmm.
say speak every language fluently because then you can connect with every human.
Connect with everyone. Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah.
First celebrity crush?
Natalie Portman.
Yeah. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Favorite Halloween costume you ever wore?
Mm, I mean, Anakin Skywalker for sure. I mean, that's
Yeah,
also recency bias. I think I've worn it like two out of the last 4 years. So
there we go.
yeah,
What's more romantic, quiet nights in or unspoken understanding?
unspoken understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your dream car?
I don't know. One that gets me from A to B. I'm such a like. Is it? Does it get good gas mileage? Like that's like. Those are like I really don't care. I mean I don't know.
Rolls Royce or Ferrari Lambo?
Yeah, I mean like I don't know. Something that's comfortable. I'm so like I
Give
really
him a limo, guys, for comfort
yeah like
and
I
a
guess
driver.
like being able to be in the HOV lane type of thing. You know, like
Oh shit.
yeah. I'm so like I don't have a car thing. You know,
That's fine. That's fine.
yeah.
What's your love language?
Quality time.
Okay. For Mansa, that's really busy. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hot do you like the shower in the water?
6.5.
That's not hot.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, ask permission or beg for forgiveness?
It depends. Ask permission for most things in life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to just beg for forgiveness
Yeah.
because, like, also it takes forever for certain things to be done. I'm talking production things that I'm
Yeah.
in my head. I'm like, a lot of these things are easier to just do it and then like deal with doing it after.
consequences later. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's such a thing.
So who's cooler, the Fonz from Happy Days or Danny Zuko from Grease?
Danny Zuko for sure.
Danny Zuko.
Yeah.
Which house are you in Hogwarts?
Uh, let's see. There's
Are you a Harry Potter fan? We
oh,
can
yeah,
skip.
I am. I've seen them all.
Oh, okay.
Like Hufflepuff. I don't know.
Hufflepuff. Okay. um, and the last one is, what word or phrase gives you the ick?
Ooh, a lot of this sounds so bad. A lot of Gen Z lingo that I'm like, we don't mean it. Like, can we just speak normal? Like, just speak to me. I'm a person. I know that I'm old, but like, let me be old.
Okay, so if someone was to come up to me like, "Oh, he's smitten, or he's risen her up, or something
Yeah,
like that,"
yeah.
like
I'd be
you'd be
like,
like, "Bro, what?"
yeah,
I get that. Well, thank you very much for participating in that rapid fire,
of
and
course.
I will link all of your IMDb descriptions, actors access, all of that good stuff in the description box below. And thank you so much for being special number 50
Hey,
on this special episode of the Vertical Take. I really appreciate it. It's a close one to me. And you
yeah, I
obviously
appreciate
know
you
that.
taking the time and having me on. And we finally pulled it off. And yeah, you're just
Right. From August, been pestering you since I saw you in Boston
what's
for
great is
this.
I have like an interviews list that I have like a notes app on my phone of like who's reached out to me to do interviews, and I still
Right.
have 16 interviews that I haven't done that's on there. And so like I got an email like this morning like, hey, when can we do this interview? And I'm like, I didn't want to respond like you're number 9 on the list, but I wanted to be
You're
like.
number 9 on the list.
It's like I just need I put them all in order as soon as I get them, and I'm like I will get there. It's just I don't have that much time, you know.
It took what? September, October, November, December, January, February. Okay, it took 6 months for me, so y'all better wait your 6 months.
I don't wait your six
Let me
months.
stop being petty. All right,
I
and
love
to
it.
the rest of you, go do your homework, go celebrate, take a shot on behalf of us. Peace.
Yeah.